Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and in today's video, whether you believe it or not, spring is here, and these are some of the top upgrades you can make to your home to get it in shape for this year. Now, the first thing you can do is address your walls. Yes, your walls need a little bit of love and some attention because they're one of the first places that start to show a little bit of age and wear and tear. And what do I mean by address your walls? Because that could mean a lot of different things. I mean, get the condition of it together. Let's fill the nail holes, move the little lines you drew on the wall when you were hanging the artwork. Let's get that together, get the scuffs off of there. I know the kids were walking around touching the wall and the dogs were rubbing up against it too. The cat is probably a little respectful and we love that for her, but let's get it cleaned up and together. Your walls are one of the first places we notice when, you know, it's like off colored or there's like a dirt mark on it or something around light switches and door frames. If people are touching them, the oils in your hands just naturally discolor that area. So let's get it cleaned up and let's do some of the touch-up painting we've been meaning to do. I know everybody has some areas around their home. I have some in mind as well that I will be addressing, but now is the time to do that. So often, I personally find that I've waited so long to do something that I've just grown accustomed to living with it in my house. Like, life is busy, we have things going on, I understand that, but now is the time to get some of these basic little things straightened out. You will thank yourself because your home will look and feel brand new, even if it isn't, by addressing some of these deferred maintenance issues. And this doesn't require a lot of work. We're not talking about repainting your entire house here. We're talking about some touch-up paint in certain areas and filling in some of those little nail holes to get the place looking fresh, bright, and clean. That always says to me it's updated, it's beautiful, it's well maintained and taken care of, and that's a feeling I want you to have in your home, and I wanted mine too. Speaking of maintenance and taking care of your home, the next thing you can do to update it this year is actually all about the utility areas, specifically your laundry room. I'm sure you've all noticed across social media that one of the biggest trends, what people are doing, is updating these utility spaces in their homes, and the laundry room is one of the hardest worn areas because you're doing a lot of laundry in there. You're constantly moving around. We're dealing with the washer and the dryer and the moving of the wet things and the dust and the dirt and the debris and the soap and all of it. So that's an area that we really need to be putting some effort into just to take care of it and refresh and update it a little bit because it shows a lot of that wear a lot faster than some of the other areas. I know personally speaking in my house, yeah, you know what? Like, we get soap on the countertops, we get soap on the shelves sometimes because it's like in the bottle, none of them are perfectly designed. It happens. Now's the time to scrub it up and get that clean so it looks fresh and feels nice. And hey, you know what? I can have a good time doing the laundry and getting done the things I need to in a beautiful space. So don't write it off as being like, oh, you know, it's the laundry, it's in this little closet, it's out in the hallway, whatever. No, paint that a special color, make it interesting, do something great organizationally in it, get great baskets and find, you know, interesting storage elements that are really going to enhance the usability of that space, and it will make a meaningful difference and look a whole lot better. Don't write off some of these utilitarian spaces because in your home, they're some of the most used and they make some of the biggest impacts. Speaking of making a big impact in your home, if you are looking to make a meaningful change but don't know where to start, you were stuck on a renovation, or you just don't want to make the wrong decision, I am at your service. You can always book a one-on-one interior design consultation with me where we can go through your home. We can talk about any and all of your design and decorating needs, and you can book that using the link in the description box down below or going to intro.co/GarrettLeChic. Oh, Arden popped by to say hello, and one of the things he wants you to know that you can do in your home that will make a big change in it this year is actually all about your trim. Updating your trim, refreshing it, filling in some of those nail holes, little scuffs, scrapes, and bumps, and repainting it if necessary are great things to think about, including just giving it a deep clean. You don't realize the amount of wear and tear your baseboards take and the trim around your door frames, all of it. These are in your home for the reason of specifically, okay, this is the one reason, to protect your walls. That's what they're there for. They cover up some of the gaps around the bottom that are delicate edges so it doesn't get damaged, and they prevent things from knocking in, hitting your wall, scraping and chipping them, like your vacuum cleaner. I can tell you right now, I know my vacuum cleaner touches the baseboards in this house. Like, it scuffs up against them when I'm cleaning because, you know, it's not always the perfect, most precise movement, and that's okay. But this year, get it addressed and take care of those baseboards. We'll see you later, Arden, because we're talking about something really important here. It makes a big difference. Even just getting them really thoroughly dusted and cleaned and polished in your home makes a big statement. And if you can, repainting them will also make them really stand out and pop and be vibrant. You don't realize, like, paint does discolor over time. A lot of people don't realize that, especially if they are not using the correct quality, or even the right color sometimes will fade into something that we just don't like or will yellow over time. So addressing them now, getting them repainted with a fresh, bright white coat of paint is a major, major update you can make to your home that doesn't require you to tear out walls or make big changes. Yes, it's paint. Yes, it's not easy to do, and I do recommend you have a professional do it. But updating those baseboards, just painting them, makes such a meaningful difference in a home. You don't even realize it. So do not underestimate the power of a little bit of paint, especially on those baseboards, or just giving them a deep clean. As an interior designer, there is nothing I love more than great lighting in a home, because it really changes the feeling, the mood, and the atmosphere of the space. Now, we've talked about that a million times, so I'm not gonna go into it in this video, but you can check out some of the other ones for that on my Amazon storefront for some great lighting fixtures. However, now is the time to set the stage and the style of your home through lighting. In a home, there are a lot of things we can do to define its character and style. But one of the easiest, the most accessible, and the most versatile is through the style of lighting in your space. And this is where it really makes a big deal and a big impact. That's where you are defining the style. So swapping out those generic builder grade fixtures is an immediate way to elevate the interior design and set the stage and mood for your personal style and what you want your home to look like, regardless of that style. Look for things that are easily cleanable, that are not going to build dust. However, we also don't love to see a naked or exposed light bulb. That's not always great. They tend to be very harsh, and we don't enjoy seeing that. So something that hides the light bulb but won't catch a lot of dust or is easy for you to clean is a great idea to think about and consider. Have an electrician out to talk about what you want to do and what the possibilities are, and look for something that has a good height clearance. I like my light fixtures to clear like 6.5 feet. I like to have a good amount of space underneath them so I don't feel like I'm going to knock into them. I can walk under them easily. Pretty much anybody that comes into my home could, even though, you know, most of the light fixtures in my house you can't walk under anyway, but we want to have good clearance so the eye moves up to the ceiling. Your ceilings will look taller. We can enhance the space and set the stage for your style in it. I love swapping out a light fixture. Now is the time to do it, and there are some really great ones out there that are very affordable. And you already know you can check out some of my favorite lighting selections. You can find the link to my Amazon storefront in the description box down below. While we are talking about bringing your eye upward to the ceiling and those details, what's happening there, let's talk about a ceiling medallion and crown molding. These are not for everyone's home, but they are for a lot of people's home. And these are great things to add into your space to really increase the style and the detail it has. I will say you do have to have an electrician remove your light fixture, or like undo the wiring on it. And I don't mess with electricity, so I don't recommend you do either, but you have to have that removed. You can have a ceiling medallion installed. Usually it just gets like glued in there and absolutely fine. It's good to go. Crown molding, even just like a cornice detail of some sort is great. You can add a picture molding onto your walls. That's beautiful. Applied moldings, of course, we love them, but even just a crown molding and a ceiling medallion. If you have an early American, a colonial style home, a Georgian style home, anything, if you have a modern farmhouse, you can add in crown molding and it will look and feel beautiful and elevate the style of the space. Mark my words, traditional design is back. It's back in a meaningful way, and some of these more traditional details are really going to enhance your home because there's a reason for them. There's a reason they're back and they look great. So don't write off some of these fine and sophisticated details that will really enhance and elevate your home. Now, something else that will elevate your home is, of course, great interior design and great interior design advice. And you know you are going to hear the honest truth here from me. So I would greatly appreciate if you joined us on our quest to 1 million+ subscribers by hitting that subscribe button and becoming a part of our LeChic family. I would also greatly appreciate if everyone watching right now could help this video get shared out to everybody else, because we know they need the help, by giving this video a like. And you could even share this video with your friends and family if they are embarking on a renovation journey. they should check it out too. Let's get back to the design. And like I said, something that's really popular on social media this year is all about utility spaces. And, you know, yeah, your laundry room is one of them, okay, but one of the biggest utility spaces that people love to do major organization to, that I think makes a meaningful difference in a home to put some effort into, is your pantry. And I know a pantry is just like the food storage, but it's more than that. It can be a really useful space in your home for organization and to keep track of things. And when something is really organized, when a space is just meticulously organized and done, we have all of the organizers, the storage bins, the baskets, the shelves, the labeling, we feel so calm and so relaxed because I know where everything is in its place, it's perfection, and that's great. Your pantry is the place to do that this year. Let's add some baskets for some of the dry goods. Let's add some of those bins and tubs for things, and even just dividers for your shelves can really make a major statement. Get some of the things off of the floor if possible, because it opens things up. It makes it look so much larger, bigger, and brighter, and just airier to not have a bunch of clutter on the floor. There's so many different organizational things you can bring into your home in every area of your home. Your pantry is a great place to start though, because it makes the biggest impact and difference. And I mean, hey, post the picture on Instagram. You know you'll catch a like from me. Those sorts of meticulously organized spaces genuinely bring people so much joy. Another big change you can make to your home is all about visually decluttering. And I'm not talking about getting rid of any stuff. I'm talking about hiding some of the things we don't want to see. Number one is cables, cords, and wires. That's the top thing I don't want to see in a home. You know, the rest of the clutter, hey, we live with it every day, like things come and go. I just got a package, I got a box sitting right here. That's fine, it's okay. We expect those sorts of things. But if you can make a meaningful difference by creating a semi-permanent change to your home, hiding the cords and cables and wires, you have no idea the impact it will make. When you look at a beautiful magazine of, you know, photos of interior design and, you know, the celebrities are photographed in their home, you never see an outlet or a cable or a wire. And you're like, well, how do they do it? What do they do? It gets airbrushed out of the magazines. It's not real. But in your home, you can create the illusion, the fantasy of having that perfectly smooth wall and space where you don't see that obtrusive, obnoxious outlet and plug and wire and cable on the ground. I love paintable outlet covers. You all know this about me, and they're wonderful. Once again, linked to my Amazon storefront in the description box down below. But that's something to consider. Cable management systems are great as well. If you have a television mounted on the wall and like the cables hanging out from underneath it, no. We're not doing it, no. If you can't have a contractor come in and hide the cables behind the wall, that's okay. Get a cable management system. They're just like channels, plastic channels that stick on the wall. You can paint them to match, put a piece of, you know, decor in front of it, and nobody sees it, nobody knows it's there, and you get such a clean and beautiful, thoughtful space. It makes a meaningful difference. What I also do in my home, if you know me, you know I love lamps, all sorts of lighting all over the place. I'll have a million lamps in a room, okay? Maybe not a million, but like 7, fine. I hate seeing the wires for them though. So I will actually wind the wire up, I'll plug it in, wind the extra of it up, and then tape it to the back of a piece of furniture so I don't have to see a cable hanging on the ground or the floor. Realistically, we live in homes with electricity, like it happens, there's plugs in things and cables and there's chargers and all of that. I actually don't really love things that are not wired in because I hate having to recharge things, but that's also beside the point. Hiding the cables and wires makes a big, meaningful difference in your home, and it's definitely something worth considering. Let's talk about one of the most important areas of your home. It is the heart of the home. It's where everybody centralizes around, and that is the kitchen. Your kitchen is a great place to make an upgrade this year because you can't go wrong with a kitchen upgrade, okay? It always makes a difference. It's always really wonderful. As long as it's done well, we can make it work, and we can make it like functional, super, super great, and elevate the design. Number one area is a backsplash. Take off that little 4-inch splash back that's like matches the stone of your countertops. Get rid of that, and then let's do a tile backsplash from the bottom of the cabinet straight to the countertop. Super clean and sleek, a great upgrade for a kitchen. Another one is your vent hood. You know I hate a microwave above an oven because I just think it's so underwhelming to me. We can do so much better than that, and you can have something custom made that's a really good spot to splurge as well because it really elevates and heightens the design in your kitchen and creates a focal point and a meaningful element. But just like lighting sets the style for your home, the hardware on your cabinetry does as well. And that's a really wonderful, wonderful place to put an upgrade into your kitchen. Hardware is the jewelry of the kitchen. All you have to do is find hardware that has the same spacing as what you currently have, and then you just unscrew it and screw the new thing back in. That's also a great tip for renters as well, because you can swap it back if you need to. As long as you're not drilling new holes, you're not making a permanent change, so it will be beautiful. Put your personal stamp and style on that space without it being a big commitment. Another big change you should think about making to your home this year is something I see in my clients' home all the time, and we often talk about it, and that's an entryway. You need to have some sort of organization and storage in your foyer. And that's not me telling you that, you already know. So one of the things I love to recommend to my clients is a mudroom detail. It doesn't have to be a full-blown, built-in element with, the paneling and the built-in bench and the cubbies and the doors and all of that, because that's a really big commitment. It's very expensive and it takes up a lot of space where you may not have it in your entry. But something I love doing is a mudroom detail where we do like some paneling on the wall, usually like a B-board paneling with maybe a shelf above, some hooks on it, count the number of people that live in the house and add that many hooks so everybody gets their own hook. And maybe you do a floating bench piece of furniture underneath with a little bit of storage under it, so you can kick off the shoes, put your dirty boots there, you could put a boot tray underneath it, and then you could put your dirty boots on it. Oh, love how clean that looks in my mind's eye. Love that for you. And you have a drop zone where the kids can come in, take off their coat, take off their backpack, hang it up, put it down, put the dog's leash down. As a matter of fact, put a hook for everybody in the house and an extra one for the dog leashes as well. They need their own little space, and it's a great area for organization and storage to declutter some of the other spaces in the house, and it adds a lot of utility. If you need that extra storage but you don't have a mudroom, this is a perfect thing to consider for your home. Something else I love to do in a home, and I think this year is the year for you to do it, is adding in a ceiling detail, even if it's just painting your ceiling. Your ceiling is such an underutilized area of your home. It is the fifth wall and people overlook it so drastically, but you can have so much fun with it. I already talked about adding crown molding and a ceiling medallion. I love those things, but you can do extra things on top of that. In my home, I have a faux coffered ceiling where the coffers are very shallow, and then I have crown molding, and then I have a ceiling medallion also. I love to layer on these details because it adds so much to the ceiling, and it's all done in white, the same white as the walls and the trim, so we're kind of color drenching here, and it really fades into the background, but it's a beautiful layer and detail to have in a space. I'm not a fan of ceiling paint, like a matte, flat, chalky white ceiling paint that's a pure white. No, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of it. We don't exist in the same realm. I'm just gonna take the paint from my walls and paint my ceiling with it. White trim, white crown molding, white ceiling medallion, and then have the ceiling paint match the walls. That's beautiful. Or you can do an accent ceiling. That for me is really good if you're doing a very, very cohesive like color scheme in a space, or in a kid's bedroom. It can be so whimsical and fun. I absolutely love that detail. This is also great to add into a foyer space, or if you are looking to create a really defined division between two spaces, doing something different on the ceiling is immediately gonna take us into a completely different atmosphere in that space. It's really a great detail that you should not overlook. A ceiling detail, amazing, wonderful. It definitely has my stamp of approval. LeChic approved. Hey, now that we talked about some ways to update your house this year, be sure to check this video out right here, all about some things that are making your home look cheap and we need to let go of. Be sure you check it out, and we'll see you over there. Oh, and by the way, thanks for watching.